This is the IsaacBoyz podcast. I'm your host, Dwayne the Ghost.
With the most.
Alongside the Terra. Coming at you guys with episode 94?
I think so.
Episode 94. I think it's 94.
You like to think so.
Coming at you guys live out of beautiful St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands. Yeah.
From the lounge.
From the lounge, which, man, it's going to sound like a broken record.
It really is.
But long story short, we're on an upward trajectory. And it feels good.
I mean, every week, we say this and it's like, yeah, maybe, it's...
But it's
how much better can it actually be from last week?
It's literally getting better every week. By the weeks, I think we've been on a good
3 week
growth.
Mm-hmm.
Every week is getting better and better.
And it's not just talk. It's like numbers wise. We pay attention to our numbers business wise, and honestly, this week almost had me emotional.
It crushed it.
This week almost had me emotional when I was like, when I sit back and think of like the way this week went, I was like, man, this is what we always dreamed of. We're actually living our dream.
Yeah, I remember when we were coming up with the lounge, coming up with the business plan, crunching the numbers, trying to see what makes sense.
If it makes sense. How to make it make sense.
Mm-hmm. And this week,
it was like a realization of, this is what we do now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not, and it's kind of strange because I'm sure a lot of people listen to this, they hear us talk about this all this time, and they were here for the entire journey, and there may be a lot of people that think, when we started doing this, that we're just very well off. We got a trust fund or something. We did this out of excess, and that was 100% not the case.
Nope. And
a lot of people also might think like that everybody is rooting for us.
Yeah.
That everyone's happy to see our growth and wishing us all well wishes, and it's like what we go through on a almost daily basis, somewhat on the negative side, I think would probably blow some certain people's minds. And not just this week, or I'm talking about from since day one. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things that we had to overcome.
A lot of challenges.
It's like I want to say that we're to get where we are right now, you have to be borderline crazy, which I think we are.
Yeah. It's very interesting, considering the challenges we had to overcome, considering all the work we had to do.
Challenges we still have to overcome.
Yeah.
It's not. Believe me when I say it's not all sunshine and rainbows on this side.
It's not.
We come on here and we talk a good game every day, every podcast. But it's not sunshine and rainbows, guys. It's really not.
Yep.
But I think we're just a little cynical, and we're just we just say we're gonna do it and we do it.
We get it done.
And we find ways to get it done. And when one way doesn't work, we try another way. And when that way doesn't work, we try another way.
And keep implementing, keep planning, and it's interesting because like we talk, we throw out a bunch of good ideas and we talk all a lot of positive things, and it's not just we don't just do it just to for a segment. A lot of it is actually things that we're actually experiencing or going through, and we just kind of throw these things out there to see if it benefit anyone. But all things considered, all the challenges and everything, this week kind of made it worth it.
This week made it so worth it.
It's good.
We literally had the best week we've ever had since we've opened the lounge.
Mm-hmm. Best week. But It's crazy.
Far and above. Like, there's no question this is the best week.
Yeah.
That was the best week because it's gone now.
Yep.
I mean, from Monday to Sunday.
Yep. From Monday all the way to Sunday was just
craziness, pandemonium every day.
and it was on all fronts. It was it was on foot traffic. It was on merch. It was on.
We had a good bit of tourists came through this week.
Tourists.
Well, last week I should say.
Tourist foot traffic as well. We did a drink order and it's we have to do another one really soon.
The drink order is done.
Drinks been flying off the shelves.
Merch has been trying out front of like between T-shirts, toys, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, everything is just flying off the shelf.
Yeah, and birthday parties, of course.
Birthday parties we did this week as well.
We had two. Well, we had one. We do have another one.
We have another one this week as well.
Yeah.
It's just
it's been great, man. It's been great, and like you said, you have to be a little bit crazy to risk what we risked to get to this point. But who was it? Yeah, I think it was Kamar Usman in the interview he did this weekend when they were asking him about the fights and stuff. And they were asking about him and challenging for fighting Canelo, which is something that's been in talks or whatever, which we'll probably get into later, whatever. But one of the things he said is like he was laying out his entire career and talking about how he always said he was gonna do something, and people would say he was crazy and all that, but he actually did it. He went out and do it, and he said it like he is gonna stop Canelo when they do fight, and it doesn't like you guys don't have to believe him. It's not a matter of you like people believe him like us believe him. It's about him making you believe him, and it's not done until it's done. So, and that's as crazy as it sounds. It's like, hey, the guy's right. Yeah. It's not a we still have lofty goals when it comes to this lounge and how we see things playing out, but it doesn't matter who believes it.
It really doesn't.
Yep, we believe it, and we have to make everyone else believe it. So.
And that's really all that matters. I mean, there's so much that we
haven't even begun. We
haven't even begun to scratch the surface on.
Not even close.
On how, like, our critical mass, what we would consider critical mass for the lounge.
Mm-hmm.
And it blows my mind how well we do with how little we have, and how we just make the best of whatever we have.
Yep, and it shows that we're onto something.
If anything, one thing we are is resourceful.
True that.
We're not here patting ourselves on the back or anything, but it definitely resourceful. We find ways to make this thing work multiple different ways, every different angle. And when everything gets utilized,
this is perfect.
It's just like, man, if we never had that thought, where would we be? Like, what would last week have looked like if we didn't implement certain things?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yep.
To think about. But I'm certainly glad we did.
Yep.
And for those of you that haven't been to the lounge yet, definitely stop by.
Yeah, check it out. It's a cool vibe.
We had a lot of new people this week.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of foot traffic. A lot of new people this week.
It's great, man. I like to see it. But even though we did, like, there's still so much room for growth.
Still so much room for growth, and it's weird because we get, this week I've been talking to different customers, people seeing the launch for the first time. I've gotten a lot of mixed, not mixed, but a lot of interesting reviews. Like people saying, "Wow, man, I really like what you guys are doing." We usually get stuff like that, but I heard like crazy, like the other day, someone was saying like, "Man, I'm so glad you guys opened this place because now I have something to do with my life." I'm like, man, you need to find something to do with your life, But it's like when people like hold you in such high regard, and like, I don't know, I'm definitely getting a joy out of seeing people happy, seeing people enjoying what we bring to the forefront. It's like, we're kind of like finding our purpose. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, people are really like enjoying the space and what we do with it, and we're just getting started.
It's so fulfilling.
Yeah.
It's like, could we have been maybe wealthier doing something else? Maybe. There's a lot of different things you can do right now to make money, but I'm so glad we're doing this, honestly. I'm definitely glad we're doing this, and I wouldn't trade it. I literally wouldn't trade it for anything.
It's scary to think that we almost didn't do this, but
You know what I mean? It's like I definitely wouldn't trade it for anything. Like we're not the most wealthiest right now. We still have tons of bills. Different expenses. I'm not even gonna bore you guys with all that. But it's like I still wouldn't trade where we are right now for anything.
Yep.
There's something to be said about that. Self-fulfillment. It's like we found.
purpose.
We found purpose. That's exactly what I'm looking. That's
Like like Loki said in the TV series, glorious purpose.
100%. This is literally what when I think about when we were younger, growing up, and everything, and how our life kind of played out up until this point is like, what else could we end? What else could we have ended up doing? You know what I mean? This is like so perfect for us. 'Cause, I mean, for more reasons than one, but I just feel so so complete, and it's like it helps validate that when you get a week like last week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know
we keep knocking on it.
Yeah, we keep saying it over and over again.
Hopefully, you guys bear with us because it's just it's seeing your dreams come manifest right before your eyes. It's humbling and it's exciting and it's all these things. And
unless you've experienced it, you really don't know. But it's like we've been through so much to get to this point, and it's awesome, man. It's truly awesome.
Yep.
So excited for last week, and I'm looking forward to this week.
Yeah.
Because every day presents a new opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
As much growth as we've had, there's still much more growing to be done.
Yep.
Like, I mean, the other day I was, chilling downtown and in Lockhart area, and I saw hundreds of school kids, and I'm like, none of these guys come. I'm looking at them like none of these guys come to the lounge. And I'm looking at them, I'm like, you would definitely come to the lounge. You would definitely come to the lounge. You would definitely enjoy the lounge. And it's like, there's so much growth. There's so much room for growth. There's so much room for growth.
Yep.
And it's like,
I can't wait.
We just need to, we have a system in place and a way we do things, and we just gotta keep doing that.
Mm-hmm.
We just gotta keep working our system, developing our system, improving our system, getting better at what it is that we do, because we definitely don't want to take last week for granted and expect it to be every week.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But we definitely can make it be an every week. But we definitely don't want to take it for granted. There's still a lot of work to be done.
Yep.
Still got to push forward. In order for us to have more weeks like last week, we have to make it happen. It's not just going to happen.
This is true.
Because same thing like last week. It didn't just happen. We had to make it happen.
Yeah, a lot of things led to that happening. So
exactly. So some people might look at the lounge and think of we're just playing video games all day, and when people come in, even though that is kind of true, there is work that we do.
Yep.
And it's just great when the work pays off, and it just shows that there is more work to be done.
Yep.
So we can really get something
significant. Speaking of the more work to be done. Mm-hmm. One thing that we are going to start doing, of course, is which we've said before, but hit the nail again. Bring out some more content. We're starting to revamp our Patreon, so you guys can get some better value there. Trying to work it and see. And one of the things we're going to start doing is trying to drop some new content for you guys. Maybe some Patreon specific content, if you will. But we definitely want to get our YouTube numbers back up. Cause just a little sidebar, just something for you guys to, nibble on, for those of you that are, in the content creation space and, want to avoid some pitfalls. In launching our video podcast, what we didn't plan or we didn't foresee, and this is a landmine of, again, for someone to avoid, is that our audio podcast, which we did before, which was great, they did decent numbers. That's what we're getting paid on from Anchor, from Spotify, and all that. Doing great there, had decent numbers, but we're always getting the buzz. People want us to do the video podcast, which we did do the video podcast, and this is what some of you probably listen to the podcast or watching it on YouTube right now. what ended up happening right now for us is that our audio listenership has dropped significantly because, of course, you guys are, of course, liking the video, watching the video. But what the interesting factor is that we are not monetized on YouTube yet. So obviously we took, we're losing money. Is long story short. By doing the video part, which we don't mind. It's not like not telling you guys to go back to Anchor or anything like that. Definitely, watch wherever you want to watch, listen wherever you want to listen. But it's just something interesting, which is why
something to think about.
Something to think about, which is why we are gonna work diligently to get our monetization on YouTube, get that going. So with that, expect new and more YouTube content. Expect a lot of that, and yeah, definitely support it. Give us a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. All that stuff helps, obviously. So we do appreciate that.
Maybe this should probably be spoken about off the air, but I was wondering if we should do. Nah, I'll top it off there.
Okay, look forward to it.
Never mind. I wanted to say it on here, but I was like, maybe not.
But yeah, so there's that. So new content's definitely on the way, of course. Vlog and all that stuff, which, speaking of a vlog, we didn't even, we touched on this weekend, but we didn't even talk about a lot of things that actually did happen this weekend. One of the things that made this weekend very special was, of course, a friend of ours, someone that comes to the lounge pretty frequently, decided to do a play day for him and all his friends for the most part. So he just invited like a ton of his friends to come to the lounge. They all brought a bunch of different consoles, ranging from a PS2 all the way to PS4 to a Switch. Everything, they brought us a bunch of consoles, and these guys are just playing games all day, and it was great.
And they actually did a little. Why this comment came up? They actually did a little vlog as well.
Yeah, so a vlog is he vlogged a lot of it, so that is gonna be up.
Whenever he puts it out, we should
definitely share it. I should definitely probably put it on the Facebook, or maybe if you can get it on here too as well. I'll check with the creator and see if he's up or down for that. But we also did a TikTok as well, which we're gonna be tagged in that, so you'll probably see us in that sometime in the near future. It was it was a good day. There was a lot going on, because even while that was going on, we saw our general crowd, our people that come
members
through.
And our memberships have been growing as well.
Memberships are growing as well, which is another big part of our business.
I do expect by the end of this week we should have another one as well. I foresee that.
I see more than one, actually. There's potential for more than one.
There is potential. Yeah, there's actually potential for 2 right now. And then the week after that, I think we're going to get another one as well.
I look forward to it. It's going to be good, man. But even outside of that, then we had this was Saturday, so then we strolled straight into our UFC watch party, which was another good one, which of course we'll get into later when we reach our fight talk. But Saturday was just a busy day.
Saturday was as busy
from beginning to end, and it was just packed with all kinds of stuff. But it was great.
Sunday didn't disappoint.
Sunday did not disappoint either. So
we've just been rolling, and we're ending up having to stay after hours, holding later hours. Which I've been thinking maybe we should change our hours as well, because we were here late all the time anyway, But maybe not, because some people, especially from our Yu-Gi-Oh group, they get off work around 5.
Yeah.
So if we were open later, they would come later, or they would come more often, kind of thing. But now they have to kind of ask us, and then we do it for them, kind of thing. But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll definitely see. But yeah, so expect more content. Expect all that good stuff. This VIVN IBPC train has just been rolling, and it's only getting better, guys. So
it's just gonna continue to roll.
Yep. And if you want to, of course, if you want to keep up with that, what better place to do it than the podcast?
The podcast, yeah. And that being said, as great as we are doing, we still need a lot of support. All support is greatly appreciated. Any small contribution is greatly appreciated, because there's a lot of moving parts to this thing. You know what I mean? And we, like I said, we're very resourceful. but with more resources, we can do more. So
Definitely, which is why we are revamping our Patreon, and hopefully you guys that aren't on Patreon decide to show some support, jump on Patreon.
What I don't want is people to end up like, oh well, they're doing well now. We don't have to support them. Those they got it.
Definitely
we're not there yet.
A lot of what we got done, it was because of the support that we've been getting, over the years. So please, by all means, continue to do so, and share our content with a friend. See if they like what we do, what we like, what we bring to the table, and maybe they want to support us as well. But yeah, exciting times. Well, do we have what do we have coming up this week?
Games this week
for releases.
I've seen for some of the games that we spoke about last week. Saw some interesting reviews. I saw Gran Turismo review and stuff like that. But
Gran Turismo.
This week, before I get into this week, let me just see here. Yeah. All right. So what do we got? There is a Chocobo GP, which I think it's coming for the Switch. It's like a Final Fantasy themed racer, which there seems to be a lot of.
Like a Chocobo racer.
Well, it's like Mario Kart, but I guess featuring Chocobos and other Final Fantasy characters in a racing game. Didn't even know this game was being made, but here it is.
There you go.
There is a Chocobo racer coming out for the Switch. Submerged. And the big one coming out this week is WWE 2K22, which I've already seen plenty of gameplay for. Seen a lot of videos being made on that one.
WWE still doing the thing, huh?
Yeah, graphics wise,
this one's pretty solid.
This one is pretty solid. Yep, and that's pretty much all the big titles coming out this week. There's some cool ones next week as well. I'm looking forward to.
All right, well, yeah, definitely check those out if you're into WWE games or racing. If you ever want to race some Chocobos.
Yeah, speaking of racing games, of course, the Switch is getting a bunch of different. Well, there's actually a bunch of different. I guess people trying to jump on that Mario Kart
party racing game.
Yeah, because I know the Sonic one just came. Well, it didn't came out, but it came available for PlayStation Plus. So we did have some people come by the lounge and play that one. It looked interesting. Very interesting concept. It looked like it's kind of more like which Mario Kart was that? Where you had Double Dash, or it kind of had that vibes to me, where it's like two people in different seats. I don't know. I didn't play it myself, but when I looked at it, I'm like, it kind of reminded me of that one.
Yeah. Cool, man. Also, that's this week we got a trailer for a pretty interesting game. Well, classic, returning, House of the Dead.
House of the Dead, yes.
Coming to Nintendo Switch as well.
Looking forward to that. I actually, when I saw that trailer, I was like, huh. Because I did hear about it a while back, but I completely forgot about it. I guess, it's not a new game by any stretch of the imagination. So I decided to do a little bit of research on this because obviously House of the Dead, if anybody has been to any arcade, you know exactly what House of the Dead is.
Especially here in Virgin Islands, the movies.
The movies.
House of the Dead was a staple.
Power Play as well.
And Power Play as well. Like it was one of those that we always go to, and it was between that and Time Crisis were two that was just staples.
They're always in every arcade. So. But in this particular one, it is remade graphics, so. It is they are remaking House of the Dead 1 because there's multiple House of the Dead at this point. This is the first one, and they completely revamped the graphics. They're not next gen by any stretch of the imagination, but they are beefed up graphics. Frame rates, all that stuff is increased. The biggest question mark on that one is how does it play?
Yes.
And for some reason, I was unable to find anything on this.
Which is a little concern. Maybe just going without saying, it's just kind of obvious. But if you're not using the gyro, controls,
They dropped the ball if they
They
do
dropped the
not.
ball. Hopefully that's not the case.
But I mean, if you look at the gameplay does look like they're using joystick, which
Maybe for the trailer, because maybe there's options they give you.
maybe
You can use both, or one or the other, or whoever.
But I mean, something like that would be, I feel would be need to be said like, yeah, boom,
Yeah, with gyro controllers, especially if they give you some kind of
peripheral.
that you can put the Joy-Cons in. Give you that classic House of the Dead.
If they're able to pull that off, awesome.
Yeah, and that would be a must buy for the lounge.
A must buy for the lounge, with peripherals. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Give people that arcade experience that we grow and love when it comes to House of the Dead. But one thing, one thing that I saw that was brought to my attention about House of the Dead that I never really realized, but it was one of the, if not the first, zombie games where when you're shooting the zombies, like they were losing parts and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like if a zombie's gonna hit you and you shoot his arm off, that arm can't hit you again.
Yeah.
It was one of the first games like that, and this was back in
the day,
in the 90s. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, kudos to them. And even the trailer, when you're looking at the trailer, it's like you can, zombies don't just. It's not like your typical Resident Evil where shooting zombies and eventually they go down. It's like you're shooting zombies and they're losing pieces, chunks of their head, their arm, everything. I mean that was kind of the cool factor about House of the Dead. And I think in the trailer they had their blood was green, but I'm sure you can switch to red because.
Well, even in the arcade, I remember most of the time, the one it was green for the most part, whatever. But yeah, there were some times where it was red.
I think they give you that. I think they made it that way for the trailer just to not get demonetized.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. So definitely looking forward to see how that one plays. Fingers crossed. I forgot what date it is, but I think it's the end of the month. I think it's coming out.
Yeah, I know it's real soon.
Fingers crossed that it plays well and we can have it as a mainstay.
Mm-hmm. Especially with the new changes that we're making as well.
Mm-hmm. Also, one thing we didn't mention, but on March 10th is what's known as Mario Day.
Yeah, Mario Day come up March 10th, which is a Thursday, which we are
usually closed, but maybe we should open. Yeah, we should
do something for Mario Day.
We should do something for Mario Day. I mean, we definitely might post stuff, but maybe we can have some kind of acknowledgement here on the Virgin Islands for Mario Day.
Yeah, we can do something.
We'll think about it off camera, but March 10th, Mario Day. It usually follows usually Mario Day would be like when it comes to the Nintendo eShops and stuff, like there'd be a big sale on all Mario games. So I mean, maybe not so much here, but they said all retailers that sell Mario games, there should be a sale, as well as retailers. So if you go to the Nintendo eShop, all Mario games should be on sale. Might be a good time to snag a couple. Maybe even in time for Mario Day, we could probably have some other Mario games that we probably haven't had yet in the lounge.
There you go.
Something to think about there.
Should be cool. Definitely.
In remembrance of Mario, that a plumber we all know and love.
You said it remembers like he's dead.
That's true. Mario's still going strong.
Yeah.
In celebration of.
There you go. I'll kill my boy off just yet. Anywho. One thing about the podcast that we like to do, of course, is like let you guys know. I was thinking about this, and this is why I mentioned it like this. Is that the way our whole setup is for like the lounge and our content creation, everything it was pretty much us deciding how we're gonna make money off of playing video games, which this is kind of what we're doing now. In that we play video games. We try different games out. We bring it to the podcast. We create content from it. But we also have the lounge where people can come and play video games. So it's an interesting thing. So I say all that to segue into new game we played this week, which is not... it's fairly new. It came out last month, I think, or a month before. Sifu. Sifu recently dropped, and we got a chance to get some hands-on on it. And I would say I am very impressed with the presentation of Sifu.
Yes.
I saw the trailer, and it looked like interesting game. Obviously it's very martial arts based. And being a martial artist myself, I'm like, okay, this could be cool. be a fun experience. But I didn't realize how much of a great presentation it was until I actually played it. Now, it's not only visually, very compelling. It plays out like a martial arts movie.
Yep.
So if you're into like classic martial
school,
arts
yeah.
or old school martial arts movies, this is right up your alley. And gameplay wise, it's the mechanics aren't too hard to grasp, but you can do some really cool.
Yeah, there is somewhat of a learning curve, and there is a skill tree as well. So there's new moves you can learn and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely, I mean, I like Sifu. It's a nice. And the thing is, I didn't, but I mean, after playing it and stuff, I looked up a couple of things, and the game can be beaten within an hour.
Yeah,
which
you can do speed runs. I've seen like 20-minute speed runs.
That's got to be the record. I've seen some records of like 40, 45 minutes, 44 minutes kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's even 20 minutes. So it's like if you know what to do and where to go and stuff like that, you can beat the game within an hour, which makes it like a perfect game for the lounge. If you want to, sit down, check it out for an hour, you can potentially beat it within that hour.
There you go.
You know what I mean? And again, it's a narrative-driven game that doesn't really, you don't have to pay it. So it doesn't take itself so seriously where you have to like look in every corner and it's like for the most part it's pretty
straightforward.
Pretty straightforward.
You
just gotta I mean after the first playthrough, then it's gonna be even more straightforward. You know exactly.
It's classic narrative. Of course. Someone killed your master.
Well,
now you gotta get revenge.
Father in this part. Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
In these movies, I'll play pretty much the same. But what's interesting about this one is that you can there's some decisions you can make along the way. So, for example, it's a whole crew of these guys that you're taking them out one by one for the most part, and you can decide whether you want to spare them or not. And it's interesting, and I think based on your decisions, certain things play out differently. Based on what you spare, so. Again, I haven't played it all the way through yet, but it seems like a pretty cool game. Definitely. For all things considered, it's definitely one that
definitely worth checking out.
You can play and play again.
A lot of replay value.
Almost roguelike-esque in that way, where you can just kind of keep playing.
Yeah.
I'm still stuck on Skull, by the way.
Skull's a great roguelike. I too have found a roguelike on my phone that I play a lot. Taking up a lot of my time as well. I know roguelike is definitely one of my favorite genres.
It's not a new genre, but it's definitely getting steam.
Because there's so many out there now, and it's like there's again with the right roguelike, there's so much replay value, and they just find ways to extend that replay value, not giving you everything in one serving. You got to go back in there and do more, and even if you beat the roguelike, they still find ways to make you go back in there again.
And play some more, yep.
Different builds, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Pretty cool. So, definitely, if you guys are on PlayStation, Sifu, worth checking out. Highly recommended by us.
It's not even that expensive, I don't think.
It's priced perfectly. For the experience you're getting, it's priced perfectly, I think. Worth it. And if you want to check it out, swing by the lounge.
There you go.
All right. Another game I'm still playing, obviously, is Halo. It's one of my daily plays. But I must say it's one of the banes of my existence right now. For a number of reasons. The main reason is I'm trying to continue my quest from Halo 5. If you guys remember when I used to stream, I was trying to get I was even trying to get the diamond on Halo 5. Never did it, unfortunately. But I did manage to get it done on
Infinite.
On Halo Infinite. So I'm trying to get the Onyx now. And it's just a pain in the butt. Because the ranking system is not like how it was in Halo 5. It's a different system, and it's very annoying. Because you can win a ton of games straight and lose one, and you lose majority of your progress. It's bad. I, for one, don't rather I don't enjoy the experience, but because I set out to do this goal, I want to stick with it, but it's a challenge.
Yeah, it's like, well, and that's kind of why I like Guilty Gear, because the ranking system is like one of the more easier. Well, I wouldn't say easier. It's one of the more well balanced ranking systems.
It's pretty straightforward.
It's easy to go up, easy to go down. You know what you have to do to go up, and you know what'll happen. You know what will happen. You know if certain criteria are met, you will go down. You know, you win 5 in a row, you go up. You lose 5 in a row, you go down. It's really that straightforward. So you know there's no guesswork. You know, and it's like, even if I'm having a bad day where I'm like, you know, maybe a little rusty, haven't played in a while, and I go down, it's not, in my mind, it's not even a bad thing, because I know where my skill's at. So and because it's so easy to go up, so easy to go down, to me that really shows where your rank really is. Because, you know, people at a certain level, okay, like if I rank down, I know, okay, I can beat these guys, no problem. It's not so much a bad thing. It's more of a, okay, let me go down here, practice up, get my rhythm going, so I can go back up and then progress on forward. So it's like, to me, it has one of the better ranking systems out of any game. A lot of games now, they're trying to make it easy to go down, hard to go up, so that if you're really, really good, then you go up. But to me, that doesn't really make sense, because then it kind of bottlenecks everything to most people are going to be at one, like, in a certain spot.
Yeah, I feel like
for Halo, I think it's like a diamond.
Yeah, I think diamond are where you find all the, like, you know, the real Halo players, and then the ones that manage to, you know,
get a good win streak.
Yeah, or fit the criteria, manage to squeeze out into Onyx.
So to me, like, again, that just kind of bottlenecks everything. It's not like with you know, with how Guilty Gear, there's so many of them, so you know, okay, I know exactly where my rank is, like where my comfortable rank is, and even if I drop below that, I know, okay, it's a bad day today, or it's like a bad time at this moment, and I can easily go back up. So I don't know. It's I would like to see more games implement that.
Yeah, I wish Halo would, but that's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen.
It's unfortunate, but I am still determined. And the good and bad thing about it is that I have nothing but time, because for whatever reason, this first Halo season,
it's extremely long.
It's extremely long. Hey, like, season 1 has been out since December.
Yeah, November. No, yeah, December.
No, actually, it might be even November.
Yeah, I think it was November, actually.
It was November, yeah.
So it's just like, if you haven't completed
the battle pass, you're not playing.
You're simply not playing.
So even if you didn't want to complete the battle pass, you'd complete it by now.
100%.
And I rushed through it, which unfortunately was a mistake.
I remember, you know, I didn't initially rush through it, but then when I realized, okay, I want these things, and then I rushed through it, and I'm like, oh, well, there you go. Now what do?
Yeah, and that's a problem a lot of Halo players are running into right now. And it's kind of reminding me of Apex Season 1. Where, you know, they gave you this, you know, decent battle pass. I mean, this battle pass wasn't stellar, but it kind of shows you, you know, how they're going to go forward and do things going forward or whatever. But it's like so much time. And, I mean, Halo has done some events. Like 2 or 3 events
in between there.
In between, and I do expect more of that, but it's not enough, unfortunately. The content for Halo, it's just dragging, and it's not enough to keep the player base. Unfortunately, the player base is falling off.
Yes, it is.
Because there's so much competition now.
There's a lot of, especially Apex is still putting out good content.
Apex still putting out stellar content. I mean, they're, you know, and they're like, Apex is just coming up with event after event after event for their battle pass, and they're great events. They're giving you a lot of cosmetics. They're giving you a lot of things to.
They're giving you content. They're giving you things like, okay, if you want that, you know, you push for it.
Yeah.
Because the crazy thing about Halo 2 is, like, they're saying that you can do any battle pass at any time. Like, I'm assuming when the second season comes out, for people that didn't complete season 1, you can choose to do that battle pass instead of the season 2 battle pass, which to me would be crazy. If you haven't done it this time, I don't know.
And if that was the way they're doing it, then they should be just pumping out battle passes after battle passes.
It should be more. Yep.
There should be more of them. But that's not the case, and there's a lot of complaints online about, you know, what's going on with Halo, because this one's not going to end until April, right?
Is it even April?
No, it's May.
May, something like that.
So
we still have months to complete this battle pass.
Which I'm sure they're going to drop some events in between there.
It
but
better be good.
Yeah, exactly. That's the issue. I mean,
I've seen some of the armor sets for
season 2. Yeah,
I've seen a couple pictures now.
and I mean they look good. They look great.
The one you sent me, and I saw another one today actually with some other armors. I was like, huh, okay. Something to look forward to. But again, that's no time now. That's
the problem. Like, and I don't know if it's like a planning issue or is it a manpower issue, but it's something they definitely need to work on because it's just too long. And this is the same thing that almost killed Apex, and this is what killed Titanfall. Remember Titanfall 1?
Mm-hmm.
Just didn't have the content.
And
when they decided to do it, it was too late.
But that being said, it just takes a good battle pass to come out to bring back people.
Yeah.
Even though people fall off, they put out some good content. They put out a good battle pass. People will come back. But it's better to grow while you have the captivated audience, as opposed to trying to get them again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You had them. You know what I mean? Like when Halo came out first, initially, you had your audience.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of like that was the time to keep pumping in content. Because when they did the 10-Rai event, it was like to me they did it in good time. It was good. It was a perfect timing during the first battle pass. But they just needed more of that. They needed to keep infusing the first battle pass with more stuff. Like, okay, you did a 10-Rai. Okay, now there's this other one. Okay, now there's this other one. Like they should have kept going with that because they had the audience, initially.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention the fact that with the 10-Rai event, it's like not everybody's gonna be all samurais. There's not a lot of variations.
Yeah.
So it's like if you kept
doing different things,
you'd have different variations of characters.
And I do hope that they in the future when they go to the other events, that they're not all Fiesta.
Or yes, that's true.
I hope they they change that and do different things, because Fiesta is not a game what I played a lot before. So I mean, it's kind of being forced to play it now. It's like, yeah, okay, whatever.
I have,
and it's fun.
I have grown to like it more.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you're playing it to go through the battle pass or to get for the events. It is what it is, but I'm kind of over it.
I hear you.
And attrition was interesting.
Attrition was good because it was a different way to play, and again, stuff like that is great. But to me, they brought out attrition way too late, in my opinion.
And it's not even here anymore. Is it still there?
No, I don't think it is.
I think it was just for that that part of the event. Yeah.
But it should have been a little, again. Well, also too, you know why it makes us makes the battle pass even longer, is that when Halo came out early.
Yeah.
People didn't realize, but Halo started early, and they dropped the battle pass one time initially. So it was like, it came out like a whole month early, kind of thing. So it was like you had that whole month of time to pre-play, I guess.
Yeah.
It made it
probably, but maybe that's what throughout their timeline make things seem longer than it's supposed to be. But
even still, it still would have been kind of long.
It still is.
It still would have been. It still is long for a battle pass.
But yeah, I mean, captivate your audience while you have it, man. I mean, the best time to make money is when you're making money. So
exactly.
But hopefully they solve the problem. I mean, I'm not too worried about it because I'm still trying to get to Onyx, but hopefully.
And they did a rank and reset mid.
Yeah, they did a rank rate reset, which is a bit annoying, but I mean, most games do that anyway. Apex does it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So it is what it is. And I did fall. I'm still trying to build back to where I was.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty close, but
I haven't played ranked in a minute.
Yeah, you're not missing anything except for some stress, but it's all right though.
Got enough of that. I'm good.
Yeah, I hear you. Anywho, cool trailer. Another trailer dropped this week, which I found very interesting. Seeing a lot of clickbaity headlines around this particular trailer, but maybe I'll lead with a headline, clickbaity headline. Keanu Reeves being casted as Batman in an upcoming DC movie.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing that everywhere now, but it was obviously from the DC League of Super Pets trailer, which I think is cool. I don't know if you saw the trailer.
Yeah, with Batman.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's great. Seeing that trailer makes me want that show.
Yeah.
You know, that Superman, that Batman in that world. Like, forget the pets. I want to see those
guys.
Those guys, you know, in an animated show, or you know,
It could be an animated movie spin-off.
I'm all for it.
At first, when I first heard this movie was being announced, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, some
But no.
big name actors in it though. You have you know The
Mhm.
Rock and
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart, and now Keanu Reeves.
That movie's going to be great.
I think so. But yeah, I mean, Batman is very interesting. It was an interesting trailer.
Mm-hmm.
I rather enjoyed it than, like I said, I want to see that show, and it's I like the way they did it because again it does what a trailer's supposed to do, get you hyped for the upcoming movie.
Yep.
And again, I wasn't that excited about the movie before. You know, The Rock, Kevin Hart, it's a good duo.
Always solid, yeah.
I always saw it, and you know, The Secret Life of Pets was a decent movie as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I was expecting something along that vein,
Mm-hmm.
but with superpowers. But now, you know, I'm sold on the whole package, and actually can't wait to see it.
Definitely. Speaking of Batman, definitely have to still see that.
Yeah, we're
This week sometime we're going to see it.
gonna see this sometime this weekend. We'll probably do a spoiler-free
Spoiler-free
review.
review.
Yeah, and maybe we'll do a spoiler review
For
for Patreon.
Yeah.
See, new content. Something to look forward to. Another trailer dropped as well, which, you know, we like to, of course, cover these things. This is, of course, was for the new DBZ movie,
Mm-hmm.
which they keep dropping trailers, and these trailers are giving you a little bit more information.
They're not spoiler free.
They're not spoiler free, but because they are already out there, I kind of want to talk about some of the things in these trailers.
I hear you.
Not in detail, but just some rumors and some things that we kind of observe in these trailers and these images that they're putting out there that I find rather interesting.
Mm-hmm.
For one, of course, one of the things that I found the most interesting is that Goten and Trunks are finally aging.
Finally, I mean, it wasn't. Well, actually, the only thing that wasn't really in the trailer, but I guess that wasn't a image that was.
Yeah,
put out.
which they you know they're putting this stuff out there. There's several images of this, so it's not
Mm-hmm.
not a secret. But yeah, we're getting Teen Goten, and Trunks, and Teen Gotenks as well.
Yeah,
I'm seeing that everywhere.
they've needed to age a lot. Like to me, the Super Super didn't do a good job in terms of aging them at all, in my opinion. It's like their growth was stunts because like Super takes. I mean, I don't know what it kind of exactly was like. It seemed like over a span of a year or so. You know, that's even after a lot of time has passed even before that. So it was like, all right, they're still the same age, but you know, babies are being born and aging,
And they're still kids.
they're still kids. I was like, this,
Yeah.
But you know, Super on a whole is not not my favorite Dragon Ball, but it started growing on me later on. But initially, it took me a while to get through it because I just got tired of watching it.
Yeah.
But it's characters that we grew up with and love, so I'm always gonna watch Dragon Ball stuff.
Dragon Ball is Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball is Dragon Ball.
One of the major things that came out of the last trailer that everyone's talking about, of course, is Piccolo getting a new form.
Mm-hmm.
It seems some kind of a, for lack of a better term, super Namek form,
Seems like it.
or a mystic Namek
Well,
form.
he had the other form before where he would when he fused with what's his face,
Pycon? No,
Nails.
Yeah. So he did get stronger then, but obviously, it's not like a form in a sense where you're like Super Saiyan-esque, But now it seems like he's getting something like that, He seemed to do like some kind of a charge up thing, and he looks a little bit more yellow, and he doesn't have the lines on his arm anymore, like the lines on his arm. So he's seemed to be beefed up, and what it's looking like is that him and Gohan are gonna be the stars of this one. They're gonna be the ones to save the day, not their typical Goku, Frieza. I mean Vegeta. Well, Goku really. Vegeta hasn't really saved the day. Really, it's mostly been the Goku show.
Yeah, and it bothers me that they don't. I mean, in Super he had some, but it's never. It's always the Goku show, pretty much. And I find it to be very lazy writing when it comes to Dragon Ball.
Mm.
I could go on and on about shit in Dragon Ball, but I'm not going to do that because I like Dragon Ball. I just don't like what they've been bringing out lately.
But yeah, Piccolo in new form, Gohan stealing the show. I think is going to be great. It's going to be something different, and the art style of the movie is very different as well.
Mm-hmm. The art style is
I do hope they don't gravitate to this art style because I do want to see the classic, 2D art style continue. But I don't mind this art style just to, bring something different. Gives you a fresh look on classic,
It's a movie, so we give you a reason to watch the movie. It's not like movie's just not a extended episode anymore. It's like something different.
Yeah.
So that works.
And another little thing that they snuck in there that a lot of people didn't see on the initial watch, but it looks like Broly is coming back in this one. And it looks like he's going to be joining the Z Fighters. So it looks like they're getting a new member.
That's gonna be interesting.
Well, that's a rumor anyway, based on this little snuck in thing of Broly, that he's going to be fighting alongside of the Z Fighters for the first time in any, thing. He's it seems like that's the formula that Dragon Ball's been going with. They come up with these interesting villains. The villains get a big following. They bring the villains on as part of the crew. Yamcha was a villain at one point. Of course, Vegeta was a villain at one point.
Piccolo
was a villain at one point. Now they're all friends. So.
Yep. Even in Super, Frieza was part of the group, and I guess I should have said spoiler alert.
It's been out.
Yeah.
It's been out.
Anyhow.
But yeah, these are all pretty cool things. I am looking forward to this movie. I think it's about a month or so away. So, I can't wait for the comes out. I can't wait for the drop, and I can't wait to show her at the lounge because we do anime showings here as well. So that's gonna be a fun one.
Yep.
Looking forward to doing that. Hope sooner rather than later. I think it's gonna be cool. It's definitely gonna be cool. All right, well, I think at this time we're going to roll straight into Fight Talk, which, of course, this weekend, coming off of an interesting
the grudge match
that didn't go the way I wanted it to. Didn't go the way most people wanted to.
No.
But it goes the way a lot of people expected it to.
It went
the way a lot of people expected it to.
Yeah. I will say, even though like the past couple UFCs, there's been some good fights on the UFCs. Main events, like the actual main events, have been
lackluster.
Slightly lackluster. I don't want to
dog on the product.
Dog on it, just like that, because
dog on it.
But when you think back, past couple pay-per-views, you had. Adesanya and Whitaker, which was probably the better one of the.
That was decent.
That was the better one out of.
Francis Ngannou was a little bit.
Francis Ngannou one was a little,
but
it wasn't bad. But
it was good because of what
Well, yeah.
That he won.
But it was still what we expected. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you had there was a couple others before that, but it was like you get a lot of the good fights
on the prelims and.
Even on the main card, you get some of the better fights, but like the main events is not the. But that's not that's not the UFC's fault. They put on good fights. It's just up to the fighters to do their part,
to do their due.
And I'm not saying that they don't, because I'm not here to dog on anyone's heart or anything like that, because they definitely go out there and they definitely do their best to put on a show. I think it's just a combination of maybe not getting the results that a lot, like not getting a lot of the popular result, or actually no, because the Whitaker and
Adesanya.
Adesanya, I mean, everybody wanted Adesanya to win, but it's not the reason. When I say the result, I mean everybody expecting Adesanya to do something amazing, flashy, crazy knockout. We all go home happy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But didn't get that. He still won, but not. That being said, this week kind of was in that same vein, but there were still some good fights. So we're gonna get into them as we go on.
Ludwig Killeen
Yeah.
Versus
This
Devontae
guy-
Smith.
This guy.
Definitely someone to keep your eye out on.
Mm-hmm.
Hard. The name is tough, but definitely keep your eye out on this guy. I mean, he won by decision, but it was clear cut.
Yeah, he this guy throws some heat.
He throws heat with everything.
Everything.
And I was rooting for my boy, Devontae, but unfortunately, he just got outclassed.
It wasn't his night.
'Cause he's another guy that's very skilled, and he throws heat too as well. But
Mm-hmm.
one guy was clearly the better fighter, unfortunately. So I felt a little bad for him, but these things happen.
Mm-hmm.
Then of course we had Tim Elliott,
Getting a unanimous decision over
Brazilian.
Tagir
Russian.
Ulanbekov.
Ulanbekov. There you go.
It was kind of a weird night because there was a lot of Russians on this card, and given the current situation of the world,
It's kind of
kinda
hard.
weird.
Kind of hard to root for him.
I mean,
Even though it's not them. It's not
you know what I
their
mean?
fault.
Yeah, and I think I've been hearing a lot of the world is just a weird place, man. Because there's a lot of Russian hate now, and I don't like to see it.
It's weird.
Because it's like a lot of these people have absolutely nothing to do with this. You know what I mean?
No.
And we saw a lot of it too with when pandemic started with the people are blaming Chinese or Asians. People have nothing to do with the situation, but and it's honestly a bad product of America because it is definitely definitely an American thing. It's not a worldwide thing.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And it's sad to see. I think I heard a story about a Russian content creator who's got her TikTok banned for no other reason other than being Russian. Like I think she was trying to figure out was there something I said,
Mm-hmm.
and nothing could be found other than the fact that she was Russian. I was like, man, come on, man. I mean, I get it. I mean, because there are, a lot of companies pulling out of Russia, and I think that's the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
But you gotta be careful how you do it because it's not. A lot of the people aren't to blame. You know what I mean? And yeah, you're pulling out of Russia, but you can't. You got to make sure that we're not fueling the problem, as in,
Creating enemies.
or America is the land of the free. I like to think so, and we're doing a lot of things, in the right vein as to getting better with racism.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a step back, in my opinion. I know this is a little bit of a stretch off of the UFC card, which we're supposed to be doing Fight Talk now. But I just kind of feel like it should be said because, I don't know. Racism is still racism, regardless of which race.
Yeah,
You know what I
racism,
mean?
prejudice. It's all unacceptable, and it's a problem.
It's unfortunately, I mean, it's not just an American problem. There is racism all over the world. But that brand of racism where, where we all find a common enemy. I mean, it can bring us together, but I think it tears us apart
It's
as well.
kind of like a mob mentality, kind of gang up on someone.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
A lot of times it's undeserving, but what can we do, right?
That being said,
getting back into the card,
Yeah.
the next fight, of course,
Brian Kelleher versus Umar Nurmagomedov, another Russian. It's actually
Khabib's cousin.
Khabib's cousin, if you couldn't tell from the last name. Did what they do.
Took him down, pounded him out, choked him out.
I think he's undefeated, if I'm not mistaken.
He might be. Yes, he is. He's 14-0.
Undefeated as well.
So it's another guy that's under, Khabib's tutelage that's
Undefeated.
coming up undefeated and looking to recreate,
Those guys are no joke, man. You gotta
respect it. And
you gotta respect those Russian fighters.
Mm-hmm.
Let's call them Dagestani fighters.
Yeah.
Not trying to get demonetized on here. You know what I mean?
for saying Russia.
Hey, hey,
Crazier things have happened, right?
crazier things have happened.
Yeah, you don't get flagged. But anywho. And then these guys, their names are so tough. Even Joe Rogan had a problem calling their names. So it's Nikolai Negmereno, something like that.
Yeah.
Versus Kennedy. I'm not even gonna bother, man.
Zeku.
Yeah.
And Zekuku.
Sure. I'll go with it. Decent fight. Both guys were fairly evenly matched for the most part, but then
I don't know. Kennedy he's a big guy.
he has good range.
And he has good range, but he
Doesn't use it.
He doesn't utilize a lot of activity. He's very stand up and watch kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a size where you just look at him and you're like, man, this guy could be a destroyer. But he's just not. And like, he could have easily won this fight. He was piecing up Nikolai big time. Nikolai won by split decision because it was simply because Nikolai would not be denied. He would not be denied.
Mm-hmm.
He was getting pieced up. He was losing the fight, but he was like, no, I'm not. He just bit down his mouthpiece and just tried to win the fight.
Yep.
And I felt if Kennedy, if he just did that, this would be a no-brainer. He would have won the fight easily. I find, but that was not the case. So,
what can you do?
you can lead a deer to water, but you can't make him drink. So
there you go.
And then you have Marina Rodriguez versus Yan Zhao.
Which people are saying Maria is probably next for a title shot.
Oh yeah.
She looked good.
She's beating a lot of big names.
This one was kind of close though. I think Yan Shannon did very well.
Another split decision.
As far as like Asian fighters, she's one of the most game ones I've seen for a while.
To
the point she was even taunting,
She was mocking Rodriguez.
Yeah, Rodriguez was kind of showboating a little bit. And she started mocking her as well. It was good to see. I like her style. I like Yan Shannon's style. She's very cool, and she's a tough.
She's
tough,
little scrappy.
She's 13-3 now, and so I do expect great things coming out of her in the future for sure. But Maria Rodriguez is just showing that she's definitely high up in that division. I think who's fighting Rose next? I think it's Carla Esparza.
Esparza, yeah.
Is fighting Rose next, but I think Maria should probably be the next shot
Next
after
in
that.
line, yeah, I think so. 100%. Whoever wins is probably going to fight Rodriguez next.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have
Jalen Turner
my favorite fighter on this card, Jalen Turner.
versus Jamie Malarkey, and
Turner is showing. I mean, this guy is something to watch.
he's so skilled, and he's so calm in there, and he just throws clean technique. To the point where he's just throwing these roundhouse kicks with no wind up, nothing,
Nothing.
Back to back, just. Plop, plop. And they were finding their mark. Like even though they were being blocked, but they were still doing the damage they need to get done. I was definitely impressed with him.
Yeah, he was just throwing clean technique, man. Just clean everything. So and Malarkey's no joke, no slouch. He came to fight. And he landed a few times too.
Yep.
It's a really good fight.
But Jalen just stayed calm and composed, and
he's definitely gonna be something to watch moving forward. I said that in his last fight, and definitely believing it now.
It holds true, yeah.
It definitely holds true. Yeah, he's definitely he's gonna be a big name. He has that, long slender bill, kind of reminiscent of a John Jones when Jones first started. Those. He also kind of have that also kind of reminds me of Phil Davis in terms of the very broad shoulders, slender build. But of course Davis is more of a wrestler. His striking more reminds me along the lines of John Jones, but definitely a name to look out for. Jalen Turner. His nickname is the Tarantula. Look out for that guy.
Not a fan of the name, but definitely a fan of the guy.
There you go.
And then we had a heavyweight fight, which is the opening fight for the main card. where Greg Hardy fought
Sergey Spivak.
Sergey Spivak, which Sergey got Hardy out of there in the first round, which is Hardy's third loss in a row now.
Mm-hmm. I think him like other heavyweights, they fall in love with that power.
Mm-hmm.
And in his case, being that he has a big name as well, because he used to be an NFL player, he fell in love with that power, and he has the eyeballs on him because he's an NFL player, and now he's knocking people out. He got pushed really quick.
He did, but now he's fighting.
Now he's fighting the upper echelon in the heavyweight division.
Not even.
So he's fighting more experienced fighters in the heavyweight division, and it's proving that he doesn't belong there.
This is so true, but because of his big name, they may keep him around a little bit longer. But because right now his record is 7-5, so he's still very, very green, and that's a problem. Like, it'd have been better for him to get some outside experience before he got in 100%.
there. 100%.
Build some technique, build some some go-tos, but
again, because of his name,
yep,
it pushed him maybe a little too quickly. Got knocked out in the first.
Again,
and it was weird because when he kind of got after he got knocked down, and Spivak was over him, punching him up. He kind of covered up, and when he got off him, it was like the ref was like checking on him, like, okay, the fight's done, he's checking, and he like it's like he was waking up, like
he jumped up, like what's happening,
But it was weird. You never really see him go out, but obviously those shots had some damage.
Yeah,
shook up some stuff inside there. So
it's interesting. So we'll see what the UFC wants to do with him after that. But if we see him again, or if we don't see him again, it's it is what it is.
Yeah,
he tries to be a character a lot too as well. Trying to be entertaining, but.
Which you have to do.
Yeah,
so I don't wrong him for that, but
gotta be able to fight too as well.
Gotta be able to fight, sir.
And then we had a welterweight fight with Kevin Holland.
Kevin Holland versus Alex Cowboy Oliveira. Great fight. Kevin showing like he's he did weather a little bit of some storm there because they were trading back and forth, but Kevin. Showing he still got it, man, and it's you get him in there with someone that wants to scrap with him, and you can get a good fight.
Mm-hmm.
And he landed some good ground and pound, if I can remember correctly. And definitely
got him out of there in the second.
Got him out of there in the second, which for the record, now he's moving down a weight class. He used to be a middleweight, now he's fighting at welterweight.
Welterweight now, yeah.
And because he said he used to fight at middleweight because he didn't really want to cut weight. He never used to cut weight when he was at middleweight.
Mm-hmm.
So now he can actually cut weight. Now he's and it translates well because he's pretty tall for the division.
Still strong.
That being said, just reminded me, Jalen Turner.
Mm-hmm.
Forgot to mention, I think he's a lightweight, which is crazy. I'm not sure
size,
if I remember correctly, or am I thinking about somebody else? I think Jalen.
Yeah, he's a lightweight.
He's a lightweight.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. A 6'3" lightweight. Moving on. Edson Barbosa versus Bryce Mitchell.
Which can't say enough good things about Bryce Mitchell.
Mm-hmm.
He was that guy like we talked about last week, just very hard nosed, humble living, get the job done kind of guy. Blue collar, get the job done kind of guy, and he definitely got the job done. He was beating Barbosa at every turn. His grappling, it just shows that he's superior grappler, not just for Barbosa, but for most people in this division. I think his grappling just
caught some elbows on the ground and busted him up.
Yeah, did some decent ground and pound, busted him up, and won the fight by decision, of course. But what was most impressive to me is that he was getting paid $45,000 to show, 45 to win, and he said he wanted to donate half of his purse to the needy.
Yeah, for a children's hospital or something.
Yeah, in Arkansas. Which, because of the way he lives, it just shows you he doesn't need he's not all about the money.
He's not all about material things, stuff like that, and
he wants to have an impact. And that's huge. You don't see that kind of that kind of heart that good spirit in UFC, and it's a great thing. And even Dana White was pretty impressed by it. Dana White said, "Don't bother do that. You can keep your entire fight purse. I'll donate the 45,000, which
is coming from Dana White himself, not even UFC.
Yeah, it's not even UFC. It comes from Dana White himself, which is good.
That's huge.
Bryce Mitchell, he planted a seed, and Dana White grew it. That's big.
And it's good that he used his platform to do something like that. Because if he was now that shows if he was never a fighter, those people would never gotten 45,000. A simple decision like that changed lives for so many people.
Yeah, great. So I can't wait to see him fight again, and I actually want to see how he matches up against like a Dagestani wrestler.
Because they both have that good wrestling.
Fairly similar, yeah. So I want to see how he matches up against that. So,
and he doesn't have any big camps or anything.
Nope, he does it all
on his own.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, he has some.
He has a corner.
Guy's just good, man. I like to see it, man. He's not in it for the flash and the fame and all that. He's just a blue collar guy, just doing his thing, man. Love to see it. Then of course we had that catchweight fight with Rafael Dos Anjos
versus Renato Moicano.
Which, man, what a fight, huh?
Very good fight.
Rafael showing that he's still the man.
He's still the man, man.
He's still the man in this division.
I mean, I think, me personally, I think maybe if Moicano had a full camp, he probably could have beat him. Maybe. Because Moicano just coming off of a fight last week or last month.
Yeah, not too long ago.
And now he's fighting again, so it was like a short notice.
It was a short notice, of course, because Fiziev, got COVID.
Yeah, got COVID, so he couldn't fight. And apparently, there's some talks or some bad blood between him and Makhachev, because Makhachev...
They offered Makhachev the fight.
But the thing is, him and Makhachev were scheduled to fight many times, and it all fell out.
Even a grappling match for Submission Underground, that fell out.
And I guess this was the perfect time for, it to come through, and Makhachev turned down the fight.
Which, even Dana White's not happy about it.
Dana White is not happy at all, because it was perfect, and they would have loved it, and I think it would have pulled some numbers.
It'll definitely build the Makhachev hype.
But nope, Makhachev turned it down, and now Dana White, instead of giving Makhachev
the next title shot,
they're gonna rebook Makhachev, because that's the next thing. What made it worse is that somebody did that to Makhachev.
Did it for him, yeah.
Did it for him, and by that I mean, last week Makhachev, last week or the week before, last week it was, I think.
Yeah, last week.
Makhachev was supposed to fight Dariush, but Bobby Green stepped in. So, if somebody didn't step in, you wouldn't have had a fight. You know what I mean? It's almost like Bobby Green should have not stepped in, so that fight could have been off the card, so that it could have been on this, so that he could have taken the fight with Dos Anjos.
Yep.
Which, but it shows me that, something I don't want to say, because they're really tough people and they're really tough guys. But the Dagestani fighters, which I know is because Khabib used to do it a little bit too, is they're chasing that number. They like that undefeated number, and they're holding on to that. They're not. I think that's more important than anything else to them, being undefeated. So once they beat somebody, and they're not company men where they're just gonna take whatever fight UFC gives them. They're chasing that number.
Yep.
If a fighter comes up and he's lower rank on them, they're no, they don't want to take it. They're already beating these little guys, or they're beating guys that beating that guy, so they need to fight that guy. It's I've noticed Khabib used to do that a lot, and Makhachev is definitely doing that now. I hate to see it, but at the same time, I get it. They've earned that spot. And they hold it in such high regard. So by all means.
But now he has they rebooked the Dariush fight, so we'll see. How that plays out. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. Yeah. I want to see how Dariush matches up again, because again, great grappler as well, and he has knockout power too as well. So it's gonna be interesting to see.
That being said, Dos Anjos did win the fight by unanimous decision, and he beat the brakes off of Renato Moicano. We didn't talk a lot about the fight there, but
yeah,
Moicano definitely needed to get transported out of there, because
like after the second round. Oh no, not even the second round. No, after the third.
Because this fight,
third or fourth,
which is strange enough, was a 5-rounder, a 5-round
co-main event,
co-main event, not for a title.
catchweight.
Catchweight.
So many weird things, but
So many weird things about this fight that made no sense, which probably pissed Dana White off more.
But they did it, and
Moicano was messed up from like third all the way down, maybe even the second all the way down.
yeah, the third, but the fourth was one where you're like, yeah,
Okay,
should probably stop this fight.
Yeah,
But they didn't, and crazy enough, he started coming back in the fifth.
he started coming back in the fifth. I'll give him that, but I mean, the referee tried everything to try to get this fight to be stopped.
Yep, call the
Called
doctor.
and like check him. They checked him, and it's like he can see, so I guess he can fight, you know. And I remember one point the doctor says, you know, if you want, you can stop them. I remember the doctor telling him that.
Yeah.
Because it was like so on the fence, like so close to being stopped that no one would have said anything.
Yeah.
But then you get an amazing fifth round where he was starting to come back and was landing on, you know, Dos Anjos with some heat, and it's like, okay, well, you know, this is why you don't stop it, but
It was bad.
it was bad. He was getting destroyed, man. He was stumbling all over the place every time he had to go back to his corner. It wasn't good. And for someone that took the fight on short notice, it made me feel bad. Because you take the fight on short notice to get that kind of treatment.
Yeah, but
It's now how much worth? How worth it was that? You were on a come up. You get derailed that way. It's not good.
we'll call it derailing, really.
I mean, not so much because you know the UFC will, you know, they'll take care of you and they'll probably put him back in a high profile spot. But was it really worth? I mean, it was. I don't think it was worth it.
Showed his heart.
It showed, yeah.
Moicano, if nothing else, got my respect even more so.
He didn't.
Than this one.
I don't think it did. I don't think it did him any favors, in my opinion. I mean, maybe some people are like, yeah, you know, heart and all that stuff, and man, he got. It wasn't worth it, man. In my opinion, you did the UFC good. You know, you did some good. You did good by them. I'm sure they'll take care of you. I think he was the only one that had to be transported out that night. They said, and I know they're gonna take care of him. Maybe some under the table money as well, just as like. When I say under the table, I mean like, you know, something other than his pay.
Well, they did win fight of the night too as well, so.
Yeah, but I'm sure they're gonna have to take care of him. I mean, they also take care of doctor bills and stuff like that. But I mean, like, he stepped up where he didn't have to.
Yeah.
So.
And good on him for that.
Good on him for that.
And then of course the main event, Covington versus Jorge Masvidal, which Covington just doing what Covington does, huh?
Pretty much.
All the smack talk, all the everything, which. People were saying, you know, it was probably fake and all, but I can see now that I don't think it was fake.
I don't think it was either.
These guys are still hate each other.
Mm-hmm.
And Masvidal even says, you know, if he didn't get it done in the cage, he'll get it done in the
parking lot.
Parking lot of the streets. Wherever he sees him, it's on site.
But that being said, I mean the fight itself was okay. Covington did what Covington does, which is he strikes, grapple.
Yeah, he strikes.
So he
put that pressure on you.
He puts a lot of striking pressure on you, so he can do the grappling. He hides behind, which, believe it or not, is kind of what Chimaev does.
Mm-hmm.
Chimaev does the same, but different. But yeah. That being said,
they both are in the same weight
they're
class.
both in the same weight class.
That'll be a good fight.
And I think Chimaev did say something about Covington. So I didn't really see what exactly it was, but I know I did see an article that's saying, you know, something about the two of them.
Mm-hmm. It would be interesting to see those two match up.
That would be an interesting. I would love to see that fight.
But
mostly because of what Covington would say in the lead up to that fight, and then what would happen to him in the fight.
Yeah,
that's why I want to see that fight.
If anyone will do it, Chimaev is the one.
Chimaev is the one.
But then again, if anyone could stop the hype train, it could very well be Kobe Covington.
It could. He is in the number one spot right now.
So we'll see, man. It's unfortunate for Masvidal. You know,
just got the new
hats
contract.
off him. Yeah, he took it like a man. You know, he's an all around good sport. He's good when he wins and he's good when he loses too. He can lose humbly. So good on him for that. Can't wait to see what's next for him, but.
It's interesting to see what's next for him. I have no idea what they're going to do with him now.
Some people are saying him and Connor, but for the BMF, I don't see that. I mean,
Wouldn't be
it
bad.
could work, but I already laid out what Connor's next fight should be.
And,
in the
and next thing
podcast.
too, UFC's not gonna put two high-profile guys like that. That's less money they're gonna make on that pay-per-view because then they have to pay both those guys
Yeah.
pay-per-view numbers. No, they're not gonna do that.
Exactly. So it's
So. Bad for business.
yeah. I already laid out what Connor's fight should be. And I think it was 2 podcasts back. If you want to hear it, go back and watch those. But yeah, if somebody need to watch that, and that's Connor's
Path to success.
path to success. His last fights in his career, I think. But anyway,
Kobe Covington did call out
Dustin Poirier,
afterwards.
which Dustin Poirier is in a lower weight class, so it's almost looked at as bullying. But he has fought at 170 before, so it's it could be done.
It could be done. Because Covington doesn't really cut a lot of weight either. So it technically could be done. But I do remember a while back, Dustin Poirier says he'd never fight him. He doesn't want him to make money off him.
There you go.
Because Dustin legitimately hates him.
Mm-hmm.
There's like, even though the Covington, Masvidal, Covington is bad blood. Dustin Poirier is a nice guy. And the whole thing with him and Conor, and he still speaks decent about Conor. He does not like Kobe Covington.
I know.
He would fight he would fight Conor again, but he's saying he does not want to fight Covington because he doesn't want Covington to make any money off him. He doesn't want to help that guy make any money.
Yep. So
that's interesting.
Yep.
That being said, I would like to see him. I'd love to see them fight because I think, Poirier does. He does go to the wrestling now, and he has way better hands.
yeah, it'd be an interesting matchup.
Poirier's no joke.
I'm more interested in the Chimaev one though.
Yeah, Chimaev would.
That'd be the better one. At any rate, this weekend, not a pay-per-view, of course. We're going straight into UFC Fight Night, which is a decent card. Some notable names on there. Nothing really to blow your hair back, but there's some fights that we are, some fighters that
Definitely want to see.
we do follow and do want to see.
Looking at this card, look at that. What's his name? Chris Montino.
Yeah, who fought
Sugar.
Yeah, it was a human punching bag, if you will.
He's fighting.
He's fighting.
And Chukwi is fighting.
Njoku is fighting as well.
Lang Jambula is fighting.
There you go.
Dalcha. I'd like to say that name, but he doesn't win. I wish he would, so I could hype him up. But
JJ Ulrich is also fighting as well.
Trevin Jones is fighting.
So it's a good card. In the main card, you got some great fights. Alex Pereira is a notable fight. To see him fight Bruno Silva, that's gonna be a banger.
Woo!
Alex Pereira is the last guy to beat Izzy in kickboxing. So he's fighting a guy that's no slouch in Bruno Silva.
Who's on a tear right now, so it's
gonna be a good one.
fast track.
Gonna see where Alex Pereira is.
And look at that, Terrence McKinney making his quick turnaround.
Quick turnaround fighting Drew Dober.
That's gonna be a
good one.
Fight. This card, I honestly, this card didn't excite me.
Well, the main card is fire.
But now I'm looking at it, I'm
Because
like,
you got Roundtree and Carl Robertson on there as well.
that's gonna be another banger. Sadiq Youssef versus
Alex Carreras.
That's a huge fight right there.
Then Marlon Moraes is fighting Sang Yadong.
Yadong is my guy. That's not even a question. Put your money on Yadong.
That's easy money there.
That's easy money. There's honestly, Miles Rice. He was at one point the number one contender. He's in a good position. Did he win the belt?
No.
He was in the winner.
He fought for the belt, I think.
Fought for the belt. But he hasn't shown anything lately. And Yadong, on the other hand,
And they pretty much laid out the framework to beat him. He's got to put pressure on him.
that's it. And Yadong throws heat. So you heard it here first. Maybe not first, but you definitely heard it here.
And then Thiago Silva
versus Mohamed Ankalaev, which
could be an interesting fight. Unfortunately, they may not go well for Santos.
No, it's definitely not going to go well for Santos. In my opinion, there's Ankalaev is going to. In my opinion, one thing about UFC, you could never call it, like, you can never say anything is guaranteed. Like I'm saying for Yadong and
A fight's a fight.
A fight's a fight. Anybody could win. You can go anyway. No. Thiago Santos is not going to win that fight. Hate to say that. But I like the guy.
We will watch it, and we will of course bring it to you guys. Bring you guys all the latest in MMA.
Pretty decent card. Not a lot of big names. Like the main event is like.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, you could even make the Marlon Rice and Song Yadong the main event, because either way, because they're like the star power is the same for both fights in my opinion.
Yeah, for the most part. So
hell, you can make the Oscar series. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not shit on Anthony Santos. I mean Thiago Santos that much, but anywho.
Yep, so that pretty much does it for Fight Talk and the podcast. Of course, we do enjoy doing this for you guys, so we do appreciate all your support. So with that, you guys continue to be good to each other. Stay safe out there. IsaacBoyz out.
Peace.